PlantX Vodcast, episode 26, recap.
We've got Adam Kruger on today. He does tons of our content creation. He is behind the whole Taste This series, which has been extremely well received. And he's just such an interesting person. So Adam, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much for having me, Sean. It's great to be here. Aha, yes, the age-old question. Actually, for me, it's pretty simple. I drink my coffee straight up black, like nothing in it. But I'm a bit of a coffee snob and a purist, so I grind my own beans in the morning and then I do a pour over. That's just my way of doing it, and I love it. I love the taste of coffee. So to me, content is so important. I've been in entertainment now for, good Lord, it's close to 24 years at this point. I started in live events. I've been doing those, well, till obviously we got shut down, but with, everything going on in the world. And being someone who is fully plant-based, to be able to put my energy into something that is part of my lifestyle on top of everything that I'm, good at, like to merge those two is just, it's a dream. Like a lot of stories that start with I met a girl, it's kind of the way it went for me. For a while, up until I went actually fully plant-based, I had been thinking about what I was putting in my body. And I've always been an animal lover, and I always just kind of had this weird vibe about, just eating stuff that was once running around a field somewhere. And that kind of really, it struck me as just odd, but I didn't know what to do. And then I met my now wife, and she was like, no, I've been vegetarian my whole life. I'm like, what does that mean? Do you eat fish? Do you like what? No, nothing with a face, nothing with a mother. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what do you eat? And she's like, all of this. And I go, oh, wow. And so in that moment, I went in that direction, and it stems from yoga, actually, which is the principle of non-harming. And then I later discovered the actual health benefits of it. And it's just, I haven't looked back since. It's just been amazing. Hands down, by the way, one of my favorite projects I've ever worked on, period. Like, just end of sentence right there. The whole concept behind the show was essentially this. I mean, how many times have you gone to a restaurant and the waiter comes to take your order and you're like, well, what's good? What should I have? And so they'll say, well, oh, this is amazing and that's great. And you're like, oh, cool. All right, yeah, let me go with that. And you go with the waiter's recommendation. PlantX, as everyone knows, it's an e-commerce site, right? And when you're browsing the site, there's over 10,000 products on there that you can look at and go, oh, that looks like it could be good, but I don't know. And so you go to the review and you go to read the review and you don't necessarily know. Well, with Taste This, we have 3 different brands of the same product that are being tasted by 3 separate taste testers, whether they're plant-based or not. And they're sitting there giving you their legitimate opinion on what it tastes like and what it could go with. And, with PlantX, the whole idea is to educate people, as you said. So I just feel like it's a huge way to educate people while also keeping them entertained. I think that's, amazing. The fact of the matter is that there's so many options out there, and it's only growing. I mean, when I started in 2009, even it was still pretty awesome. Like, there was still a lot of options then, but now it's so easy to do it now where you don't even miss any of the other stuff. There's literally a plant-based version of every single thing that is not plant-based, and in my opinion, they taste even better. So yeah, and I've seen so many people who we've taken to restaurants and they're just like, this is amazing. I would have never known that this was plant-based if you didn't tell me.
We have this whole journey on constantly creating more content. Yourself, Christian, who joined the team a few months back, who I think has done an incredible job on the YouTube channel. When I look at it, I'm so proud of it. Like, sometimes I just browse and hit and watch, whether it's Sarah's videos, Julia's videos, Kelly's doing a great job. And then you're working with them behind the scenes, and we're about to do the medical advisory rollout. And through this year, we're going to be bringing even more people on. And when you started, it was just to write a couple things, and then it's kind of transpired into this amazingness.
I think everyone's heard the term, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life, right? And so if you're passionate about something, it doesn't really feel like work. When I look at PlantX and I saw the company, I was just like, wow, this is amazing. It was so many different things from the same genre in one place. Plants, you've got groceries, you've got meal delivery, you've got education, all of it kind of rolled into one beautiful ball. And so as we're bringing in more content, it doesn't feel like juggling, because I feel like we have like one cohesive message that we're attacking from several different fronts. You know, I hadn't seen you since we were kids, really. I stumbled across your picture and I was like, wow, man, he looks great. Like, what are you up to? And I'm like, I can't believe we haven't crossed paths in so long. And so I went to your profile and all of a sudden I saw founder of PlantX and see that you're on this like plant-based journey, and I'm like, duh, it makes sense. Obviously he's gonna look great. He's been plant-based. And so it was, what drew me to the company was you. But then when I started to actually look at everything, I was just like, wow, this is something that is gonna go somewhere. And I just remember my original thought was, I've got to have you on my podcast. I want to like push this out there to as many people as possible. Like, we have to spread the word about this, because to me, when I look at the world and I look at sustainability and I look at the future, I mean, we're both dads, we have kids. I want them to grow up in a world where they can still enjoy the outdoors and they can still breathe clean air, and, you know, factory farming and all that, just animal agriculture in general is not sustainable, and plant-based living is. And that doesn't mean that everyone has to go vegan tomorrow. It means we have to drastically reduce what we're doing to the planet to make things better.
Honestly, it takes a team to achieve anything close to what we've been able to achieve up to this point, and we are just getting started. So on that note, Adam, you know, thanks again for taking time out of your day. It's a beautiful day, and just love what we're working on.
Oh, thanks for having me, Sean. It's my pleasure, really.
Until next time, stay curious, stay planted, stay healthy. Cheers.